to be able to hear what the air conditioning is on, but hopefully you can hear it to some degree. You noticed that I mentioned earlier that I was going to change the program up. You look on the program there, Coach Davis is going to give the welcome, which I'm going to give right now. And there's a long story behind this. I had another meeting tonight that I was supposed to be attending, and I went to that, and they said, well, you need to go on to your banquet, and we'll take care of this meeting here. So I'm here, and I'm pleased to be able to welcome you to the all-sport banquet tonight. And it's many years in a row that I've been able to do this. We certainly appreciate you turning out. You may notice that we have more chairs here this year, and possibly fewer people. Our count indicated that we have more people than this that would be here. So we do have more chairs in here this year. If you want to have some problems getting up and down the roads. Before I get in too far into this, there's some things that I need to do because Ms. Tampa's going to remind me if I don't do it. And that's your table decorations, the black bags. Be sure and don't take these with you tonight. They need to take these over and return them to where you got them. I'd like to thank several people for the decorations that we have. You may want to look around and see the beautiful decorations that we do have. I'd like to thank Susie Harper, Shirley Key, Kirk Tucker, and Linda Stanton for their work in preparing for this event. And also on the computer, I really don't know what I'd do without these troops. The program was done by Heather Smith, and I'd like to thank the lunchroom ladies for preparing the meal. Appreciate it. We're here tonight to honor our student athletes and our auxiliary groups. We take a lot of pride in our athletic program at Banquet High School. I know nothing stirs the community up like playoff games. You think back over the years, you can relate to that very easily. We take pride in our athletes, what they do individually, what they do as a team. I'd like to say this about our athletes. You've proven to me over and over that you'll do whatever is necessary to go to the next level in order to be able to be successful. Now, I've watched you for years and years, not just this group, but of pro athletes. And I would say this, if it comes down to the end of a ball game, where you have to do something, my money's going to be on the Tigers every time. And I think that's something that's been true and will continue to be true. I hope that you're learning some lessons in athletics that will help you in life and being able to handle the challenges that life will present. I'd like to mention our coaches while I'm up here. I'd like to commend them for their efforts this year. They work diligently to promote successful athletic programs here at the school. It just so happens they're all West Carroll. We're proud to have them here and hope to keep them for a long time. Their work for the last few years has paid off, and Oak Grove High School is recognized across the state. Anytime you mention Oak Grove, we're going to say something about athletics. It's a great tribute to our athletes that we've had and to our coaching staff. I'll just say that I continue to marvel at the successes that we've had. And looking at the work in our weight room each day, I know that this tradition is going to continue. We're taking Hazel on here in a few days, and over in Washita, I believe, and that will be a good experience for these young people. I'd like to recognize just a few people, and I won't go on and on because another program is long. I'd like to thank our Booster Club members under the leadership of Mr. Kenneth Britt. They just recently conducted an auction, which the funds that they raised a lot of money. It's going to be very helpful in our athletic program this year. I'd like to thank them for all their support. I'd like to thank our teachers who have worked extra hours and helping us with our events, Sheriff's Department, the EMTs, can't say enough about these people because they provide us with a blanket of security there at these ball games that most people don't have. Coming and being ready if, in case we do need them to help with our young people on the field. I'd especially like to thank our parents who have worked with us to provide the opportunities for their sons and daughters. And we appreciate you very much for allowing us to work with your kids. And we hope that the successes that they've had in athletics makes it all worthwhile. Thank you very much.
Last but not least, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Ms. you not here tonight. Miss Clem drove the bus car last year and the year before that to all our all-ball games, I believe, except for one. She was responsible for taking us down south to Riverside last year. She did all the driving on her own. She drove all the way down there, watched the ball game, suffered the heartache that we suffered, and she drove all the way back with only Liddy to sit the night to keep her awake on Saturday. When we got back at 3 o'clock in the morning, and she did a really fine job. She never complained when the girls would not holler. She'd say, okay, girls, we need to make some noise. And I'm saying, please, don't have to do that on this school bus. But she wanted to hear it, and she wanted people to know that in that little yellow school bus, the old brown cigarettes was under the thing. So I really do appreciate your plan. Before I turn the mic over to Diana, I'd just like to take this opportunity to say that I have been a cigarette sponsor now for 3 years. So this was my last year. Since I teach 7th graders all day long, that's the level where I feel I belong. So from now on, I'll be working with the junior high cheerleaders. And I'd like to take this opportunity to invite each and every one of you to come out next year and watch our junior high boys play and our junior high girls and boys play basketball next year and our boys play football. Thank you so much. Regretfully, this is my last year. He doesn't like it. And I'd like to recognize the squad that I've had this past year. Tara Cox, Captain, Andy Skilly, Co-Captain, Candace Sittenham, Jessica Fowler, Amanda Hay, Toby Lancaster, Meredith Hawthorne, and Stephanie O'Neill. And Cody Sanderson, our mascot. These are really good girls that made my job very easy. Some people say, how do you do this? Well, when you got to do it like this, it's not hard. They've done a real good job this year, and I'm real proud of them. It is really a good group. We've been through a lot the past few years. I started out with this senior group here behind me with some other girls that have left us since then. And in a way, I hate to leave ones in front of you, but regretfully, I'm going to become a junior high school mother. So next year, I'm going to move down to the junior high division and go to football games and work in the concession stand and all those other fun things that mothers get to do. I'd like to recognize our seniors that will be leading our squad this year, Tara and Andy and Candace, and I'd like to give them a hand because they've done a great job. We'd also like to thank the people that are sitting out here because you are the people that have made my job and these girls' jobs a lot easier because I know you've seen these faces and my face lots of times looking at you wanting you to buy something. We sell more raffle tickets and more things that you probably didn't want, but look out, they're ready to do it again. They started yesterday. And we'd also like to recognize the girls that will join this group for next year's squad, and I'd like for them to stand, please. Erica Harper, Nikki Fritz, and Cassidy McIntosh. Very, very proud of these girls. And in a way, I hate to leave them, but in a way, I'm very relieved also. And by the way, I would like to introduce the person that is going to have my new job. It's Beth McNeil, if she would stand. And now that's the friendly face that you'll see selling tickets to you in the football.
practice all over the world. He can get there and there and get coaching well. I do appreciate you. I see several families represented here tonight that were responsible for our transportation. Being a small group, we don't want to bus, and I have to have parents provide transportation that was never published this year, and I appreciate it. He's not here tonight. As girls softball grows and gets stronger across the state each year, and it gets tougher and tougher to win, you need every advantage you can get. This year, for the first time, I had an assistant coach. I'm paid assistant coach, but Coach Gary presented and came out and a lot of hours with our team, and I really, really appreciate the help he was able to do this year. Second to last, we look at cameras in support of spring athletics. As most of you know, spring sports are not revenue-producing sports. It's just the opposite of that. Because everything we do at Oak Grove, as we build a team at Oak Grove, that team is building in a first-class manner. It's more than this building. I appreciate it. The next group of girls, I'm going to call it a group. I'd like to come forward, please. I call the name. Freshman, Mandy Garcia. Sophomore, Christian Roban. Sophomore, Beth Russell. And junior, Jennifer Kelly. These four young ladies were recently selected to the audition team by the coaching project. up and played to a higher level. At the beginning of the year, I was real concerned with the difference in skills. She showed remarkable improvement through the season in that area. Show you what a great coach that I am. We started our first district ball game this year with being a DH assistant. And she wasn't with us for that, and she worked hard to practice. By the end of the season, Coach Harris was such a great coach, and she led our team to get it back to 400 for the season. Managed our season forward. basketball back in the olden days. I want to ask my three seniors if they are stand just a minute. Sarah, Andy, and Tony. I want to tell you something about these girls. They've accomplished a lot in their 4-year period. They've gotten quite a record for themselves. In their 4 years, they have contributed to 104 victories and only 11 defeats. 3 district championships, 1 co-district champ, 1 state runner-up, 1 regional champ, and 2 by-district championships. These girls have had a fantastic career. Let's give them a hand. We had a good year this year. Wound up 28-1. They have a record like 28-1. Everybody looks at the 1. They just don't see the 28. And there was a lot of pain associated with that 1. Because it's the last game of the season. It always hurts to lose the last one. But you know, we don't stop and think too much about this. But there's only one team in all the states that doesn't lose that last game. And that's the eventual state champ. I had a boys team once that went 28-1. Nobody ever mentioned that one because it was the third loss of the season, third game of the season. They went on to win the state championship that year. So it makes a difference where you lose it. But I want you to understand one thing tonight. One loss does not make you lose it. And these girls are winners, and I'm very proud of them. Our jackets, ladies, did not come in because somebody didn't go down and get measured. But you know, I'm not going to give you any names. But I'll tell you later so you can beat her up. But your jacket should be in shortly. But when I call you name, you stand up. These girls received a jacket this year. Elizabeth Rawls, Amanda West, Lynn Kennedy, Kay Fletcher, Nikki Fred, and Laura Walker. Congratulations, ladies. One of the marks of a good team is to have a good bench. And sometimes you can have 5 players who can come off the bench and play just as good as the other 5. But that's an unusual situation. Usually it's one player who has to come in and play all 5 positions regardless of what they're called on to do. And we had a young lady who had to do that a good bit this year. Very versatile. She kind of had a nose for the ball. It seemed like every time she went in the game, she'd wind up the ball. So it was coming off the board, but it was loose. She just figured it was hers, and she went after it. And on several occasions, she came off the bench and gave us a real big lift. She's going to be back next year. She's just a junior. Our 6th man award this year goes to Jimmy Burrow. Normally I give a sophomore award to a sophomore that's made an outstanding contribution to the team. But as I thought about this young lady this year, that title just didn't seem to fit. So I borrowed one from what a lot of college coaches do. They call it the Newcomer Award. This is the first time I've ever given a Newcomer Award, but I've got one this year. The young lady that we're going to recognize came on the scene. She was a little bit timid at the beginning, but it didn't take her long to figure things out, and she made a tremendous contribution to our team this year. She really made the difference between having a good season and an outstanding season. She was our second leading rebounder, our third leading scorer. She played good defense. She made all district this year. And there are two things I really like about this young lady. One is she's still growing. And two is she's got 2 more years. Beth Russell. The undergraduate award goes to a junior. It's a 2-year starter for her. She made some big buckets at key times this year. We really need them. Especially in the Delta game when we played Delta over there. We were, my wife was sitting on the bench and I wasn't listening to what the people were saying, but there were 3 young men from the opposing team sitting right behind our bench. And the girls came down the floor on offense early in the first quarter, and they opened up on the wing, and she put this thing up. Nothing but the net. These 3 guys said, that was just luck. She couldn't do that again, she had to. Next time down the floor, it opened up again, and another one, nothing but the net. One of them said, I don't know, I think this girl knows what she's doing. Third time down the floor, she removed all that. She put in a third one from out around the 3-point line. And it really made a difference. And then after that, those guys said, you know, she knows what she's doing. And my wife told me that before the game was over, they'd pull it for us. This young lady also made honorable mention all districts. She's just a junior. We're going to have her back next year. Jennifer Kelly. Second leading scorer, second in assists, and she had some big rebounds along the way. She's also an overcomer in that she started the season this year with a full thigh muscle. She had shin splints real bad right toward the end of the season, and right in the middle, she played with a broken hand. Didn't miss but 1 game. 2-year all-district. This year she's also honorable mention academic all-state. Senior, Sarah. Try to stress defense, because we believe that you can be consistent on that end of the floor. We just can't throw it in the ocean. Other end, some nights you're like that, we just can't throw it in. You just can't make those buckets. It seems like you can always play defense if you have the mind and the temperament to do it. And this year we had a prepared defensive ball club, and from time to time they would get a little rough. And I never forget the night about halfway through the season when people were getting to notice the school bit. This lady had come to see us play. She didn't belong to the other team. She didn't belong to Oak Grove. She just wanted to come see us play. And that night, it seemed like that when the ball was on the floor, it was determined that it belonged to us. And our girls would get after us, and they would get on the floor and go after them. I don't know what makes them act like that, because I try to get them to be late. But one of them went up under the scorer's table. One went up under the bleachers on the other side of the gym. Several of them not necessarily ladylike in the way in which they greeted the other people coming up under the bucket. And this lady came to me after the game and she said, well, Coach, I want to tell you something. This lady who watched a lot of basketball in her life. She said, you've got the prettiest girls I have ever seen. You can just say, what else is she going to say? She said, them the roughest heifers I have ever seen. Well, I did finish the board. I wanted this year to go to a girl who would take it personal if you brought the ball into her area of the floor. Somehow she just didn't really like that too much. And she could be very intimidating. In fact, on a number of occasions, she'd just take the ball away from the girl, give her a little tip, and just kind of look at her like, what are you looking at me like that for? I talked to one of the coaches from what's that school in Monroe? OCS. OCS. Talked to the coach from OCS, and he said, we don't have fellas going on anybody that will get a job. And that big kid out there on the elbow, she just takes it right out of the game. Well, they average about 55, 60 points a game, so they play this, and they average a little under 30. And it has a lot to do with the defense that this one girl plays. She can also play on the other end of the floor. From time to time, she makes some big buckets for us down there. In all district this year, honorable mention, academic all-state. I think this award goes to Annie Miller. Most valuable player award goes to one of the quickest girls in the state. She was our leading scorer, leading rebounder. She led the team to the fifth. She made second team All-State, second team All-Northeast Louisiana. She was the district most valuable player. And she's our most valuable player. Tony Brown.
Sure what Mr. Harvard does to keep the girls in mind, but I know I haven't seen any of these girls in the office this year. I appreciate that. I'd like to take a moment at this point in our banquet to remember a man who was an integral part of the Oak Grove High School athletic program years and years and years. I can recall conversations 15, 20 years ago where we was trying to work to better our program and get it to a point where we could be successful against other schools in this area. The man I'm talking about is Mr. Lucian Smith. Mr. Lucian was a close friend. He was an ardent supporter of Oak Grove High School athletics. He went for many, many years without missing any football games. I know that for a fact. Anytime you want to talk athletics, he was there to talk with you. He was also a long-term board member for this ward. And I know that tonight he's here with us in spirit. And I know he shares the same pride that we have for our athletes and auxiliary groups here tonight. Georgia, in Lucian's memory, the Oak Grove High School Athletic Department would like to place a book, Embraced by the Light, in the West Carroll Parish Library in memory of Lucian. We hope that people who pick up this book and read it will remember Lucian for the many contributions he has made to our school system.
Nick Barnett on the relay, named for my relay. Slow-mo here throws the shot. Caleb was a quarter-mile man in the mile relay. Chris slung the discus. Brandon run 100 and 200 in the district. Brian was a mile for us in the district, 2 miles. Brian Jennings was a shot putter also. Lane was a relay specialist. Donkey was a relay specialist. Kurt was a relay a quarter mile. And John was a relay specialist. Joe Beerhead. We swapped you from field event to field event, whether we need that little strength. We were real strong in the field this time. We used a lot of strategies to help us in that area. Okay, if you got this, then I need to script you up. Okay, guys, that's all you can get for right there. Curtis. Our outstanding track man this year is going to be Curtis Adams. He won the Rabel Relays and also won the district track meet. Had high hopes for the race. We got a little bump there and overstrided in the back and dang near didn't finish.
This time, I'd like to introduce my 15 players. Brandon Brown. Marty French. Ken Gregory. Ben Harper. Jared Harrell. Jason Hurley. Chad Higgins, Michael Iron, Trey McIntosh, Kyle Nick, Shane Ray, Joel Sanchez, Josh Sanchez, Wesley Tullis, and Jared Gates. Probably the biggest word about this team would be just the desire. There was a hunger there. There was nothing going to get in the way, nothing going to stop you from walking into the playoffs, walking through the district. And things that made that possible were a whole lot of people pulling together to form one thing. Just to single out and give awards as hard as do. We had 3 or 4 people do one thing one day, those same 3 or 4 not doing the next, 3 or 4 people in their ways going on. We had 2 freshmen that stepped in. Mike Lyons played second base and did a solid job. He hit about 345, 3 and 1 with varsity double pitches for the JV game. Jared Harrell called after my first 3 ball games during that job. He did a good job in NASCAR. Trey McIntosh, people overlook first base and Grover being over there. He just catches 6, 7. He makes a lot of things good things that's not coached. Shortstop, pitching, wrestling. Wesley Tullis and Ben Harper subbed out there for the last where they got the injury bug. At that point, Kyle took over. We never missed the league. Shane Ray, DH for him, did 330. Jerry Gates got him in. Jackson Hurley was the third. Was there every ball game. Did his job. Except Delta. I think he still has a nightmare about faith in that line. Outfield, that was a security side too. We struggled there for about a month or two. We settled in and it's become probably one of our strengths. It was a lot of work involved in it. New people involved, we moved, or I moved, Marty, I'll take credit for that, you know, into a new position that he had some trouble with. He played the field so light. He went out there, struggled a little while, and started coming around and get about 440 most of the year, and then the last 3 or 4 ball games we had some problems. Chuck, Chad, and Joe, they were just solid out there. The whole outfit just came together for the last 2 or 3 weeks of the year. The whole deal there is everybody pulling together to get that new thing done. The first one I want to talk about is Jason Curtis. If you would, coming well. I think when adults or young men or boys or girls, whatever you're doing with, you're doing variation. You don't get the same thing every day. That's what you strive for. But with him, that's what I got. When we walked out on the field, I knew he hit 333 during the year. You could count on it every game. He was going to hit a 9 drive over the middle for a hit. He was going to hit a 9 drive on second base for the shortstop. And he was going to strike out. Bob Dixon will pop up. He does strike out. We tried to cut that down. I think probably he just knew what you could get. Every time you walked to practice or at the game, he did the same thing. Over the last 4 or 5 ball games of the year, he was April 11th. And that's the years from those CS playoff games to home run. Played over St. Frederick. Coach Gambino, more football than he is baseball. He was there. He was coaching over third. We had 2 kids. Michael Irons come up and hit one of the third basemen. He made an error on 2 outs, loaded the bases. Coach Gambino, he went to berserk. All I know, there in the dugout, telling me that you're just not going to beat your ball club by doing this. Look who they got up there, a little All-American. And he struck out, I think, pretty bad. Maybe the previous 2 at bat, but when it counted, he went out of the ball. Chad Higgins. Same ball game over St. Fred, which was pretty tough deal there. We had lost Clemens and Wesley that just got back in from one ball game. So we were going over there kind of unsure what we were dealing with. And my boy there, Wes, he walked out and hit the first at bat. Just put me at ease. And, I think at that time, hopefully, I was 7-0, we were 6-0. The next guy hit the pop up in the infield. Then was their best hitter. And Coach Harris was in wisdom swinging Joel over in center field to left center and tried to pitch him inside, but my boy West did it wide and he threw outside. The Wood kid took it way over on the other side of the park. Joel Sanchez runs from one side of the park to the other and reaches out and catches it. And I think that set the whole on the ball. You knew how many times from different kids during the course of the year that I heard, what would we do without him after catching? I think that more or less sums it up the best defensive play. You know the big boys, they hang around for people. They never shut up. For the next award, best offensive player, I give that to the highest average. And it's 12. Ben and Martin both did about 440 all year long. Marty tailed off a little at the end, and got hurt. And missed a couple weeks, so he wasn't the same as he was before then. As it ended up, I think Marty hit 4 away. Chad, Slim Offer did 412 and had the highest on base percentage of 606. Slim Offer, you come up with it? The MVP award, I'm giving it to a guy that we had more than 3 games decided by 1 run. 3 of our district ball games were decided by 1 run, and in each of those games he hit 3 home runs. He hit 310 on the year, 5 with about 542 on base percentage. He was 8-2 on the mound. More important than any of those statistics, I think there was just a air of confidence or whatever by the rest of the team when he was on the mound. You just notice. There's other people who throw when he throws. It's an our team. Him on the mound, he'll get the ball. So that's tough.
Running a little bit over Dan, so I'm going to try to make my remarks brief. I'm not going to boast and brag too much. Tell you all about our record. If you know, followed our season, you know our record wasn't too good. We were kind of like Miss Frazia's Tigerette. We were little but loud. Actually, we were more little than loud. So we played with a lot of heart, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of effort. I'm most proud to have been associated with these young men for the season, and I think next year will be better. I hope it is anyway. All right, 3 young men I'd like to present with jackets. Brandon Brown, Mark sophomores that are first-year players will hopefully letter next year. John Burrow, Jared Yates, and Randy Martin. You three stand up. Brad Hill has been my manager for 3 years, and I still have him another year, and I depend upon Brad a lot. Very bad. Hopefully I've calculated this right. I should have 6 players left. With you 6 players start molding up in the front that I haven't called your name. Marty and Curtis and Brian and Caleb and Joe. First award that I want to present is to the young man who led the team in 4 burns and diving up into the bleachers and strawberries and falling down. He was our team's second leading scorer. He averaged a little over 11 points per game. He was an honorable mention all district, and also has probably the loudest jacket in the place, Marty Frank. This is my so-called hustle award, if I didn't mention it. The next award is the Improvement Award, and it goes to a young man who hasn't played a whole lot up until this year. He's a junior. He was probably the team's best pure outside shooter. He became a very good defender and a very good rebounder, and he's a junior. As I said, he'll be bigger and stronger next year in this Clint Harper. Any of you that been connected with athletics, be it football, basketball, you know how valuable some people are who never get recognized a whole lot. And on Saturday morning, you're going to see who scores and maybe who gets the most tackles. And basketball, you're going to read who scores, and that's about it. But the guy that can handle the ball, he is as valuable or more valuable, I say, not invaluable, more valuable than the guy that does the scoring part here. This Playmaker Award goes to Joel Sanchez, who became a very valuable ball handler. He had a little misfortune during the season, got ankle hurt, and we could really tell when he was not in there. And he became a very good penetrator and able to pass the ball off, and a leader in assists, and this is Joel Sanchez. The next award goes, what I call it the 6th Man Award. It could have just as easily been called the Most Versatile Award. This guy probably started more games than he did not start. He played both the outside wing position, and then he played inside a lot. He never did really understand where I was going to play him from game to game. He was our 3rd leading scorer and our 2nd leading rebounder. This is the sophomore Caleb Ross. Get a dunk next year. I have 2 young men here to the right. They're not much to brag about, but they are seniors, and I'm very proud I've been associated with them for the past 4 years. Curtis here is a 3-year letterman. Because of our smallness, he was forced to play inside a lot. Not a real big center there. He's a good jumper. He played all district bars. He led the team in scoring with 14 points and led the team also in rebounding. He receives our offensive award, and that's Curtis Allen. Last young man, he personifies perseverance in my way of thinking. Brian is a senior. He's dealt down with me for the last 4 years, or had to put up with me. He's never played very much up until this year. He's never complained, never grumbled, and the guys that played around him, he's always been smiling, and has always gave the best that he had. He's also probably has the highest GPA average in our senior class. Matter of fact, the GPA is almost as good as the scoring average, but I just had to throw that in, Brian. I've enjoyed coaching Brian. He's got a big heart, and will do well in life. He also made academic All-State with a 3.9 GPA. Coaches Award, Brian Lambert.
Thanks for as long as everything laid out here, but what was that word you used wrong way? Scrooge it up. I'm gonna scrooge this up, but I know y'all waiting on the main attraction, and it's getting warm in here, but I coached cross country this year, and it's the first time we had it, and I want to thank Mr. Gamble for allowing me that opportunity. You might not know much about this sport, but it's distance running. It's a lot like track, except you don't run in circles. You run out to the hills and the hollows and the woods and the mud and the mire and whatever happens to be out there. Girls run 2 miles and boys run 3 miles. I'll give you an example of that. I think it was a Dale High game where it was raining this way. It's about 30-something degrees, and I drank about a pint and a half of coffee that night and was freezing to death, and got in bed about 1 o'clock, and at 6 o'clock that morning we got up and went to see the creek, and we ran a race. So I don't know what kind of kids we're talking about here that, that are willing to do that, but I'm proud of them. We had 9 members on the team, 6 girls and 3 boys, and we were kind of a loosely knit group, to say the least. They weren't well coached because I just said, here's what you got to do, and I don't have a lot of time right now to do this, so y'all get out here and run. And Coach Harvey kind of led me into this one morning. He said, I've got to do something to get Beth Russell in shape. And I said, well, I may have a cross-country team, and we were standing down on duty talking. And he said, well, I tell you what, I'm going to make her go out cross country. And so she did, and I got in this vehicle, and every day after school we had her running mile loops out on the turn around cotton bag behind her house. And do you think we did pretty good on it? Okay, so that was one of our main goals, was to get Beth in shape. But we were mostly middle-up packers, and we for distance runners out there like Butch and myself, that you got about half people ahead of you, about half people behind you. And so, runners can identify with that. We had one boy that was a legitimate contender, that was Brian Lamb, and we had one girl who had, in the beginning, I thought was going to be a contender for district champion, possibly a state contender, but one Sunday evening, she, I guess, thought she was Andy Oprah or something. She dived off the back of a horse and broke her leg, and I wound all that up. At the time, Coach Lancaster was, we had been, I think, 2 meets, and I had checked the time throughout the state. She had about the 15th best time in the state at that time, and Brian was about the 8th best in the Northeast region. So we had, a couple of contenders early on. But we went to 4 meets, and we had a good time. This sport is about pain and perseverance, and that's all it is. You're out there on your own, and you're running through all kinds of conditions, and the idea is to finish the race. And when you do that, then you're a winner no matter what place you come in, just as long as you finish, and that's what we set out to do, and we did that this year. I want first to recognize Brian and ask him to come on up. Brian Lamb. He is district boys champion.
I want to give him this little plaque, congratulate him for that. I've been running with him for, I guess, 3 or 4 years, and races around the area, just over on the run. And I've noticed throughout road racing with him and cross country, and I think, Coach, you probably verify this, when he starts out, he starts at the same speed, and he ends at the same speed. You know, most of the time you start out hard and you kind of throttle back, and then you let it all go at the end, but he just kind of goes at the same speed the whole time, except in the district race. And he had this character with long hair from OCS chasing him. And one time, he just let it all go. And he just ran off and left everybody. And I want to thank him that he did a great job in that race. I want to go ahead and ask the other members of the team if they would just come up and be recognized. Dickie Fred, Jody Creech, Dan Putman, Toby Lancaster, Amanda Hayes, Beth Russell, Jerry Jacobs, and Marty Green. And we're allowed to do this next year. I hope that I can do a better job and we can be a little better organized and do a little more than stick our toe in the water and see what this is all about. And that's basically what we do this year, and maybe we can move to a little higher level. And I'd like you to give them a hand on the job they did.
First of all, everybody that's got up here, I want to say this again. Well, let me go on record and say this man's been a burden to me ever since I've been in over here. How many people walk around and never tell him the truth? I'd like to thank Marty and Cheryl for letting me take out my clothes for the night. So I wouldn't be an embarrassment to my boy. It's amazing the help you can get. When you walk in with a little simple things, like to get out there, people just watching there really fast, and I do it for you. I'm going to run down this list of people I got to thank. I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to get you, and if I do, I'm sorry. Well, I'm going to do that sorry. Mr. Kenny Bush for the field work. Kenny was the iron guy. Bush was the iron guy. Kenny did our close-up copy things we did on the side.
Off the mic.
What?
Off in the mic.
Do what you do when you're not prepared very well. People don't bother, they think you're doing a good job. Little Jerry Harper for equipment transportation and Little Debbie snacks galore. I'd like to thank the lunchroom ladies for the pre-game meals and the sandwiches. Garth for the national anthem. We're second to none on the national anthem. Did I get amen on that? Booster Club, Coach Benson does in the things for us. Primary deal that the Booster Club does is summer put out. That's the primary thing. Also, they did a super job on the auction out here, and I'd like to thank Debbie and Cheryl and Pam and Diana for being gullible enough for letting their husbands talk them into bowling up like mules that night. And I'd also like to thank Miss Irene Robinson for chocolate chip cookies every week. Every week for 14 weeks we got chocolate chip cookies. Win, lose, or draw. Win, lose, or draw. I'd also like to thank her for the staff. She kept a running total on stats through the years, and when things were kind of bad in the game, she'd bump a little bit, maybe a little bit better, but she took care of that for us every week. Ms. Melinda, Coach already mentioned about this stuff, but she does little specialty projects for me all during the year. Anything that's got to do with reading and writing, I get her to help me with it. She picks up my slack. I just appreciate that laugh. That kind of just didn't ring things right. Like I say, my managers, we went through, I think, 7 different guys last year managing a football team that works with Robert Nuts. Anybody that managed on a football team last year, stand up. See there, they said, whoop down, they can't even make it to the banquet. Like to think of diehard fans, which I'm looking at the biggest part of it. I was real disappointed. I've looked at this before, and the numbers in the Auburn boys seem to be unacceptable the last year or so. But you people that I'm looking for, that hung in there with us, you're second to none, and we certainly appreciate it. Coaches, I got to mention a few things about your coaches. Uncle Whitey and Coach Berry did a super job for us on the 8th grade last year. And I was fortunate enough to see them play about 4 games, and they really got in there and did well. The game at OCS was one of the 2 best 8th grade games I've seen since I've been coaching. So I really thank them for the job they did on that nothing. Coach Lee, obviously Coach Lee's a good football coach, but the point I want to thank him for, especially right now, is the production that we've had in the weight room this spring. I've been here going on 12 years now. We run percentage charts ever since I've been here. And this year we've had the biggest jumps of any year since I've been associated with coaching. That's a tribute to the boys for their hard work, and it's a tribute to Coach Lee for combining about 4 or 5 different aspects of weight training into something that satisfies our needs, and I certainly appreciate everything you do. Coach Gamble, we had a big deal back at the end of the season, Coach Gamble, and he even got him to say something. And I didn't want to put him on the trying to get him to say anything again. I just hope that he realizes that the influence he's had on my life since I've been here, and the things I've learned from him, both good and bad. But it was in a situation when I came here, I was in a vulnerable stage, rough around the edges, and I picked up just a whole lot of things from Coach Gamble, and especially early on, I thought he wouldn't have made it in a profession without his influence, and I certainly appreciate what he's done for me and our program. And Coach Harry, I did one thing. Somebody's got to step in the newspaper. Most of all, though, I want to thank our players for that. Unless you were there, I'm just going to give you a few little blasts here, but unless you were there, you can't comprehend what these guys went through. We physically and mentally put these guys through so much. I really don't know what the word is. That's how they do. But just day after day after day of steady pressure to do more things with their bodies and to concentrate more on their mind is just unbelievable the amount of stress that these guys were under. And all the time as a staff we're thinking, well, he's just a crack, they're going to win. They can't keep going through that. And then we think, yeah, he thinks, man, so we cranked our little again. We didn't have the 2 choices, they crank it up or look at this, so we kept getting it, and sure enough got better and better, and ended up being a heck of a fine ball. And I can honestly tell you that I couldn't be prouder of any team as far as my association with them. And being in on the deal with you, and went from being so ugly to looking so good toward me. Just as a quick note, we lost only 2 games going in. I thought we could win. In a 10-game schedule, I picked 2 games. I think we can win. We got to tell people. All right, getting on to the guys that I'm up here to talk about, which is our team. I'm going to call your name out and stand up real quick and let your mama get a look at you. Before I do that, just for a second, I'll just mention some quick stats that Ms. Allen so painfully put together for us. Through the course of the regular season, we ended up scoring 24.3 points average to our teammates, 13.1. Playoff average, 25.33, and 18 points allowed. Total points scored, 319, points allowed, 185. So, if you knew how many changes these boys had to undergo and the different things they had to learn to make the ball club, you could even appreciate this sport. From what we started with on defense in the spring, we had 10 guys out of 11, 10 positions out of 11 that was either manned by a different player or a guy in a different position. So, what that tells you is the coach is absolutely ignorant once you start with it, when you go out and win the start. But these guys have to take it and absorb all that information and do it and make it clear. So that's another tribute to their elasticity. Okay, stand up when you hear your name, please. Kevin Hill. Okay. Michael Irons. Chad Hickory. Jason Purdy. Caleb Rawls. Joel Sanchez. Kyle Nix. Wesley Tullis. I hope y'all move quickly at this handle. We're going to get zapped 7 more touchdowns. Tony James. Wesley Gamble. Cassidy Riley. Donald Crowd. Clay Carson. Jermaine Hill. Nick Barnett. Gabriel Butler. Justin Lee. Michael Jerk Anderson. That's really the right deal. Don't even worry about it. Nick Bowley. Brad Parton. Roosevelt Turner. Jared Seaman. Brandon Putman. Brantley Jones. Sam Hayes. Raymond Overby. Mike Huff. Brian Jennings. Brandon Riley. Stephen Hagan. Tommy Ivey. Kevin Kennedy. Trent Allen. Brian Bancroft. Sean Whiteside. Joe Muirhead. Chris Yoder. Ryan Brancroft. Jody Cummins. Trey McIntosh. Thomas Mosley. Toby Friend. Corey Kennedy, and Michael Brady. Let's give them a big hand. Y'all indulge me, one pleasure there is having the microphone get to say what I'm going to say. It's my wife's 29th birthday today. And I'd like to wish her a happy birthday. And some of the athletes here got a little surprise for her. Appreciate that. I was thinking that's correct. Okay, we'd like to start with the awards now. With everybody that got matches for a jacket, come up here and line up and we start to make Okay, the letter in football, you either got to get in 20 quarters or be a part of the ball club for 2 years. And all these young men satisfied these criteria. And I'd like you to give a big hand, please. Okay, the first youngster, we got several senior awards up front that I'd like to talk about. The first youngster, been with us 1 year, and he really doesn't understand what all it took to be part of football deal. And right off the bat, he comes in and checks me out about playing time. And it's just people close to the situation. We talked about it, turned to it. It's kind of an ironic deal. People think all you got to do is go out there and the game just team, but it doesn't happen like that. But I certainly appreciate this young man's ability to stay with it, even though in his mind he thinks things ought to be moving at a lot faster pace as far as his role. But he stayed with us through the whole thing, and he's a better citizen for us now. Our first senior award goes to Donald Pratt. Next senior I'd like to mention has also been with us 1 year. His claim to fame is a play over in last year's Jones and Hayesville. He was running on there and lost the wheel. I run out to him and said, "Son, what's the matter with you?" He said, "It's dirt." I said, "What is dirt?" He said, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about." He said, "It's my dirt. It's wiggling. It's my dirt." He come over there and bounced around 2 or 3 spots there, and he ended up playing with the town for us defensive tackle and moving for the ball to the bike lane. Next young man is very busy coming. And he's going out there in any position on the field, he jumps in there and just starts rolling, raving, and he was real handy at stirring up practice. Through the course of a long season, there sometimes practice gets a little overrun. They need 2 or 3 guys on the team that like to start 2 or 3 fights a day. And he had all the tools. He guys under their helmet, kick them on the pile. He could just do anything to get people to rest, but he was going in wide open all the time. And he ended up doing our kicking duty for us. That's our Brandon Wright. Next young man also was the first year to be with us. He moved in here, and like we do everybody, we told him to look at it for about 5 different positions. He ended up settling in for us at flanker there and doing a good job, and we were glad to have him. That's David Brown. This next youngster tried so hard to do well early in the season, he was just he just was going to a frantic bounce and screw all up. It just was dangerous to have him around anybody. And but it turned out that this try and this effort to succeed was what all that was about. He ended up settling down and got a whole bunch of snap bars, playing most of the time at tight end with platoon for his son, and ended up being a cover corner for us. Did a heck of a job catching the right. Mr. Gamble told me if I didn't hurry up, he was going to give me some help Coach Harris girls softball. So better listen closely here. Good job. These next two guys caught 8 tournament teams from early in the year right on up to the middle of the season. Sick 2 or 3 coaches a day on, steady and romping, and got to do this, got to do this, got to do this. And I'm going to tell you, had I been in either one of the shoes, I don't want to run with the ball. But they just kept plugging and kept working and got to the point that their efficiency really went up in the second half of the season. And the most improved offensive lineman is Cole, 2 of them, Bradley Jones and Chris York. Also part-time golf pros if you need any lessons. Bradley was also an all-district and academic all-state. Young man wasn't in the bench there early in the year. Thought he wasn't quite quick enough. He was too low profile. He just didn't have no fire about him. But we ended up just throwing him in there and giving him a bunch of reps. And he responded to the challenge. And through the course of the year, he ended up being an excellent cover corner. And the way our defense ended up last year, if you played cover corner, you was by yourself and no help. We're sending everybody else after the quarterback in case we don't get it. We got the whole thing. So it's a tremendous amount of responsibility that takes time to work through the playoffs. So the most improved defensive back goes to Joel Sanchez. Youngster's performance did fluctuate 1 iota from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't become more efficient as the year went on, but what I am saying is laying it on the line and torquing 100% every snap, right from the first day of practice, right on through the end of the playoffs there. If you knew exactly what effort you were going to get from this youngster, that was 100%. So the most important goes to Trey McIntyre. This next young started here at linebacker for us. Played about half or a little over the season at that position, getting most of his work there, split a little time in the fullback position. But he ended up coming into his own, running the ball for us. We've been looking for him to do big things for him through the course of the year. He looked a little tied up, and this and that and other, keeping him coming. But through the playoffs, he started to make a lot of things happen for us and show us the things that we had been expecting to see from him. He made some tremendous jumps in weight room this spring. We're looking for things to keep him even better for him next year. Junior Golden Tiger to Main Hill.
Oh, yeah!
Here in our program over the years, as far as I'm concerned, we live and die by the offensive line. That's not to say that every position in the field is not important, but it just seems to me when you've got an offensive line that good people going good, it goes way up in a hurry. It makes everybody else's job a lot easier. So it's really exciting when you get somebody coming along that really enjoy blocking. So many times you get excellent blockers just to be superman. And all of a sudden the quarterbacks and the fullbacks, after they've been studying with blockers for 2 years, now they want to run it or throw it or kick it. This young man stood in there and said, I want to block people because I enjoy blocking people, and therefore it reflects on his play. So the newcomer Hall Award goes to Brandon Cook. This next youngster has been super fun to work with. He's always got a smile on his face. He's enjoying playing the game. He didn't want to play come up. The first thing you see is this big white teeth look like a step up commercial. I watched him over the years make a heck of a fine player. He had problems overcome with injuries this time and all, but he never lost his excitement and things that spread from him about the pure enjoyment of the game were in this youngster. The Gordon Smith Award this year goes to Sean Whiteside. Also all this coaching off things. This next award is kind of special to me because this is a guy that I spent a little amount of time with. He truly loved the game as much as anybody I've ever seen. He didn't have an issue with the game, but he just really loved the game from coming into our community and watching our kids. And he dearly loved to watch our kids play. And I know Mike's looking down now. We've got a player on this team that I think Mike would be real proud to have him represented. He's a hard worker. He loves the weight room. We kind of coincide the weight room there. Big Mike playing such a big part in getting our weight room together. He loves the game and has really kicked in and helped make things solid for us, sparring around and pushing and going for us. So the Mike Newton Award goes to Brian. This next youngster caught our eye in junior varsity. We about put him out of the mix. I got to notice he had whacked back in the junior varsity game. Not this past year, but prior to. And worked himself in the starting position. And this year, he's made a tremendous effect on our defensive ball club. I think maybe that Old Grove High School ended up with the best defense in AA ball last year. When you start comparing what people were able to do to various people, different things, and you look at what they were able to do with us and how we reacted to those things, I was so proud of the distance that our defense came. And this youngster was certainly a cornerstone of that. He led us in tackles with 122. Many of them were very critical situations. He was also an academic All-State, so the headliner award goes to Jason Hurd. Guy's been around for a long time, he's blocked people for a long time, and got a degree in enjoyment. I won't lie to you, he loves his mama cooking better than he does blocking, but that's the only thing. And he's a previous winner of the Newcomer Hog, and when he first broke on the scene, we kind of throwed it to the trash area. We had some fans that chucked it around a little bit. He showed a little potential, so as coaches do, we throw him in there and get him scarf up, put him out there and let him chill. Something about getting whooped down and coming back makes a hand out of it. And he previously was a Newcomer Hog, and now he is a registered Hog. Previous, he's all district and all Northeast team Trent Allen for best offensive lineman. This next youngster started the year, as so many of our players do, in one position. He took that when they were all his whole junior year and was a heck of a fighter. And we observed him out and moved him to back in the line. But he accepted it after a few orientation situations there. He went on and did his job and he thought he could do that. He was the second leading tackler on the team with 108 hits. The best defensive lineman award goes to Roosevelt Turner. This next youngster overcame coach surgery when he was a freshman. He overcame the full meal deal reconstruction as a sophomore. And after a couple of situations, I guess you get to wonder what a player thinks is important, right? What he get to come back from that. And this youngster overcame that and put a full year in with us this time. And after a few rough edges there, he got confidence in his head and come on and made a heck of a player. He was third leading tackler with 107 hits, best defensive back in West Virginia. This next youngster really kicked it in as the year went on. He gained over 1,400 yards with a 7.68 yard per carry. He led us in rushing, scored 9 touchdowns. So this is one of the simple deals. Joe Strickland by the stats, the best offensive back, all district, West Kentucky. This next guy I want to talk about has been around a long time too, played a lot of ball, both sides of the ball. His contributions are almost unmeasurable, but I'm going to try. A couple of things I'd like to bring to you. He was a fourth leading tackler on defense with 101 hits. Offensively, he accounted for right at 700 yards and 18 touchdowns. But I think maybe the most significant attribute is when some of those yards came. Third and fourth down plays from people that understand the game are the most crucial of the game. Those are downs where decisions have to be made. And his number came up quite regularly on offense in these situations because he developed trust there to the thing. And he was just a pleasure to watch. Pleasure to work with. He measured him for toughness, pound for pound, and he probably got the scale. He did so many things for his career. As a coach, once you two guys come up to 6th and 7th grade, you start forming opinions about him right there. This guy's going to be tough, or this is going to be bad. And he's fulfilled all our aspirations for the type of athlete that he would be, and I'm super proud to have been able to work with a youngster like this. He was a all-district on both sides of the ball, co-MVPs on both sides of the ball, and coaches all states. The MVP goes to Chad Hickman. I appreciate your time, and certainly enjoy working with you youngsters. That's the kind of stuff we got to say about. For the most part, it's a lot of fun. On years like this, when you start, there's so far to go and accomplish so much, and it just gives you hope that it's never any limit on what these youngsters can accomplish if you keep believing it. Thank you.